Hey, Rocket City, welcome back to Rocket City Momentum. Today, we are diving into a problem that many of us face. I know it, feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and just looking for ways to truly care for ourselves. But don't worry, we have found some incredible wellness options right here in Huntsville that might just be the solution.
Exactly. Whether it's floating your way to relaxation with zero gravity float therapy, discovering how yoga therapy can help you heal the mind and the body, or even replacing your coffee with something to cut down on the acid. Interesting. Today's episode is packed with ways to help you feel better and fast.
Welcome to Rocket City Momentum, where we capture the energy of Huntsville. Each week, we're diving into the coolest stories, hottest trends, and exploring the unique neighborhoods that make our city shine. From inspiring conversations with local trailblazers to uncovering hidden gems, we're here to celebrate what makes Rocket City so special. So buckle up, Rocket City. It's time to feel the momentum. Before we jump into these amazing wellness practices, we wanted to check in with you, Rocket City. We asked locals what they know about the world of alternative health and wellness. Tell me what you know about alternative wellness.
Oh my God.
It's one of those things that I feel like I have an idea.
That is a great topic.
Shaman in the middle of the woods.
Alternative wellness.
Not using Western medicine.
That's my favorite thing.
I feel like I have an idea.
More natural remedies. More Americans should have a holistic outlook.
Less about the medicinal, traditional side of things.
Anything that is no drugs,
Mental health.
a healthy way
Outlook on
to
life.
get healthy and enjoy vitality and get your life back.
But that's a guess.
Or weed.
Today, we got to talk with Sarah Cummins, founder of Waterfall Yoga Therapy and part of the Holistic Wellness Collective. Sarah understands that people struggle with pain, stress, and trauma, and she's here to guide us through how yoga therapy can help us heal from the inside out.
We have Sarah Cummins with us today. She is a yoga therapist. And if you don't know what that is, that's why it's so important to watch this episode. So tell us all about you and yoga therapy.
Yeah, so I am a yoga therapist. I work here in Huntsville at the Holistic Wellness Collective, and I also have a retreat center out in Newmarket. But I work primarily with people who have chronic pain or chronic illnesses, people who are struggling with certain life circumstances maybe that they haven't gotten resolved in other avenues or modalities, and I basically just love helping people feel better in their bodies.
I love it so much. And yes, I'm going through yoga therapy. I think we might have
You're
mentioned
doing
this.
yoga therapy now?
I am. I'm working with Sarah.
Sarah, I was going to say, wait, hang on a second.
But with someone else,
With
another
someone
yoga
else.
therapist
Dun,
in
dun,
Huntsville.
dun, drama.
No, alternative wellness
How long have you been
is
doing it?
absolutely on my mind. Maybe 2 months.
Several months, yeah.
Yeah, maybe 2
And
months.
so, how's it go? Like, what's the...
It's like, it's very interesting. It's not like what I thought it was going to be. And that's why I think it's very important to share this, because I'm actually getting relief to some chronic pain. But it's actually a lot more than that. More than you start with the chronic pain, but it's definitely helping in a lot of
It's
different
not
ways.
just a bunch of fugazi. It's not just like, oh,
Woo-woo.
like yoga therapy, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, come on, because that's what people are like. I mean, why not just take a yoga class? Why don't you just go take a yoga
So
class?
I
right?
don't
Wouldn't that be
like to pump myself full of a lot of prescriptions. So I would rather suffer through something than to have a lot of medications and synthetic stuff running through my body. And I got to a point where I felt like there wasn't any other option.
Okay.
And so I remember Sarah mentioning chronic pain, and I was like, oh, well, what else do I have to lose?
Yeah.
Let's give it a try.
Okay, but I need to know, what's the difference? Okay, so yoga
Yes.
therapy versus like go take a yoga class at my gym, because that, like, there's yoga at my gym, and I've been thinking this would be a good idea.
Mhm. And it probably is. And
But
it doesn't replace
No,
it.
you
It doesn't replace it.
Okay, so
it's
you're doing both,
both.
or
I think that's one of the common misconceptions. This is like private yoga class, where someone is working specifically one-on-one with you, doing yoga postures. And so I always like to clear up those misconceptions. A yoga therapist goes to school for quite a bit longer. We study for at least 2 years, and we do case studies on people who have different scenarios. So you may be a yoga therapist who's trained in chronic pain like I am, and that's your specialty. But there's also yoga therapists for cancer recovery, for addiction, for all kinds of different diseases, maybe even neurological conditions like MS and things like that. And so the yoga therapist is working in a personalized state, one-on-one with people, in order to help them achieve their health goals. So it might look like breath work, meditation. It might look like movement. It might look like lifestyle changes. We've been working on a few of those, making sure people are eating properly, drinking
what are
enough
Dana's
water.
lifestyle? I need to know. What are Dana's, hers, or... Okay.
You want all the dirt on me? You want to know?
I have
Because he
dirt.
thinks
I have
I'm
a
so
confession.
perfect.
I have a
He thinks
confession.
I don't have any flaws.
I do. Well, okay. I don't know whoever told her that. I have a confession. I have recently given up eating, so specifically candy, like sugar, like in candy form, and like
Since Friday?
yes,
I
yesterday.
was on
since yesterday.
editing
Since
session.
yesterday, it still counts. I stopped yesterday because
Yes.
I was okay. I'm just gonna like lay it all out, ladies. So here you go. I was having just indigestion, and like if I laid down at all, pretty much I was having like acid reflux, and I was having gas, a lot of gas, all the time gas, horrible gas. It was terrible, and everyone was miserable, and it was...
I hadn't noticed that.
Well, I try not to fart on Dana, but my point is, I stopped eating. Yesterday I did no candy, and I'm talking my drawer in my
That's
office.
what's wrong with you. You should warn me.
Do I need... What do you mean?
Warn me when you're doing these major lifestyle changes where you eliminate something
Might
from
make him
yourself.
kind of angry or irritable.
Does it?
Right.
And do I seem irritable?
No.
A little testy.
Maybe.
A little bit?
Yeah, maybe.
Testy, like testosterone
yes.
is what she's talking
Yes.
about. All that extra...
Like when you stopped your Nicorette gums thing.
Was I me? I was kind of cranky then. I haven't had nicotine in probably a month or something now. Anyway, okay. So enough about me.
Okay. So here's the thing. In our yoga therapy sessions, we definitely do some yoga postures. That is part of it. But that seems like and I don't know if this is just me in my experience, but it seems like a smaller portion of it. We looked at things like how I stand, how I lock my knees immediately when I'm laying down, when I'm standing up, when it's an immediate.
Yeah.
And
So this is like there's like more like you were saying there's like more like individual specific assessment and then application going on here, right? This is like this is yoga. Not like let's just do this vinyasa, right? So we'll just like go through this series of moves that are just generally done because that's what you do. This is like what's going to be best for you right now for what you need.
Exactly.
Did I
So
get that? Did I kind
you're
of...
meeting the client where they are. They're going to fill out an intake form just like you would at a doctor's office that is fairly extensive because it's not just about the physical practice. It's everything we want to know about Dana outside of this. What is her stress levels like? Is she drinking enough water? Is she eating healthy? What other
drinking enough?
emotional problems?
It's just like
I mean, absolutely. One of the questions
Is
was
she
talking
drinking too
about
much?
how much
Was she
booze.
drinking too much?
Was I drinking too much?
Oh, yeah,
No, not at all.
Okay.
So it's asking them those kind of questions so that you can really get to the root of the problem. Because a lot of times you go to a physician, they have 10 minutes with you. I'm spending an hour with Dana every couple of weeks right now. And so I'm really getting to know her. And so as I get to know more about her and she begins to trust me, then it usually goes beyond the main reason why she's coming in, say a physical pain, and then we start looking at some of these other aspects of who she is and how that is affecting her life. And so what are these little adjustments or changes that we can make with me holding her accountable to that to help improve her life and actually see some significant change happening towards her goals or towards what I think maybe her goals are. She didn't know she had some postural things that she could work on that might start to decrease her pain. So there is that assessment initially. And then we just continue to work together for an hour one-on-one and kind of co-creating a lesson plan together that includes a lot of different types of things so that she achieves her goal.
Yeah, there's a lot of life coaching involved too. Like, okay, so you were going to try to do this, but you didn't really. Why?
Yeah.
Why didn't you do that? Like, what feels hard?
You're breaking down like other like emotional, psychological barriers too, right? Because it's all really part of the same stuff, right? Like this. That's like a problem with like conventional Western medicine, which is like, you've got a problem, take it off.
Right.
But the problem is generally a symptom of a deeper problem, which is usually like Dana's drinking habit.
Yeah, right.
Or whatever. Or like, something that's deeper. I don't.
Let's just be clear that I do not have a drinking problem.
Okay.
Edit. So one of the things with that, I think, is that we live in a society where we're not very connected to ourselves anymore. So we may not be aware that we have postural problems, or that we could be eating better. We might be ignoring our body rhythms and our body cues, not going to sleep at the right time, not eating when we should be eating, not eating what we should be eating. And so sometimes a lot of it is really about me teaching someone how to reconnect with that part of themselves, because I truly believe that the body has its ability to heal itself, but we're always looking for someone else, a doctor, a surgery, a pill, to fix our problems. And sometimes it's harder to look within at those deeper, more subtle layers of ourselves and ask, why am I not wanting to eat healthy? Why am I resorting to alcohol or cigarettes or other things?
That's the special timer. It's time, you guys. That's right. Dana doesn't know about it, and our guest Sarah doesn't know about it, but we've got a special event going on right now, and we're going to do an activity. Here it comes. Get ready, ladies, because we've got something fun for you. So, would you consider yourself a pretty creative person?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So for you, here's what we have. So this is for you. Here you go. You can take that.
Look
This
at
is for you.
Lucas going off
Okay.
script
This is for you, Dana.
with the planner.
Here you go, Dana. This is for you. And you get 1
Wait,
minute.
I just get a...
It is a little bit. You get 1 minute, and you get to draw a horse. Go. Draw your best horse.
That's... Look at... You gave me a crappy...
Draw your best horse. Do the best you can. It's okay. There's plenty of time.
It's kind of
46
looking more like a
seconds.
dinosaur.
Is something wrong with your pencil, by the way?
Yes! Did you do that on purpose? I'm feeling very
Don't
like,
show anyone.
less
Hey, don't
than.
show anyone your work, though. Not yet.
I'm feeling very less than because my
okay.
pencil is very floppy.
It's a very.
It is very. Can we zoom
24
in
seconds.
on what I have going on here?
Yoga therapy can't fix that. Sorry, guys.
Actually, I think it probably,
It probably
does
could.
help.
Oh, good. That's interesting. Can yoga therapy affect erectile dysfunction? I mean, I guess so, right? Like it's
Improve
all connected.
it? Well,
affect it, can it cause it?
Improve it.
Is your erectile dysfunction an emotional problem?
Right.
Most likely.
Do you-
Oh, okay. Wait, hang on. First of all, I don't want you to use the word "you" with that. I want to be more general. Okay.
Oh, but the drinking problem, that can totally
it's
be
time to
directed.
show what you have. Okay, who wants to go first? Sarah, very nice. Dana, what do you have? Dun, 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 dun.
Not bad for floppy
Wow,
pencil.
very nice. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Ta-da! Lucas's horse is really good. Wow. Congratulations. That was
Thank
fun.
you. Thank you for that.
It was exciting.
Well done.
So, okay. I love that because creativity is important in your
It's
life.
important. Now we can
So
have it
I
back.
want to talk a little bit about the idea of yoga, this ancient, like,
Are we
practice.
really just going to move past that segment?
Yes,
like
we
it
are.
didn't even
We're going to
happen?
pretend
Okay.
like Lucas didn't just do that. So, this ancient practice, but then how does modern science and technology play its role? Like, what do you do different now that, somebody in whatever the beginning of time when they're starting yoga, right? The very first person
does
that
there
did
really
a
have
yoga
to be something different? I feel like that's what's so great about yoga is it's like thousands of years old.
It
right? I
is,
mean,
but we've westernized it. So that's why people have that assumption that all I do is postural work and movements. And so yoga is an ancient wisdom. It is a philosophy that contains moral and ethical guidelines, and it's a way of living. So yoga therapy has kind of taken that ancient wisdom and applied it with modern science so that there are evidence-based practices that we're doing that are showing up in scientific studies. And it's using things like neuroplasticity, what we know about neuroscience, about biomechanics, functional movement, psychology. All of these sciences that are really becoming more and more developed by the daily. We are getting being able to infuse that into this ancient idea.
You know what? I actually have never thought about that before. That yoga is more of a lifestyle.
Right, yeah. I was just thinking that, like, when you said, like, it's like a mindset in a way, or like a, what did you call it? A philosophy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, because it's about, okay, I don't know what it's about, right? Like, you're the one who would know, but, like, in my mind...
Your perception.
My perception, my snap judgment is, like, okay, yoga's like doing these different motions to become more flexible. Okay, like, that's like the part one. But I know that there's a deeper layer, because it has to do with the connection with everything and, like, the flow of energy. Okay, but even beyond that, there's a deeper layer of philosophy, like an approach to life.
Exactly.
So what is that approach to life, if you were going to, like...
Boil it down.
Well, to boil it down, that's a lot. I mean, because the studies are intense, but it is, okay, go back to the idea of connection to yourself. Mm-hmm. We've gotten so busy that we never pay attention to what the things that we need to be doing.
Dana.
So, playing footsie under the table?
Footsie, I know, I'm going over here.
Aren't you both married? No.
Happily, thank you.
Yes. Okay, well, I'm happy to. Why? Okay.
But to be able to take this this connection, my job, I think, is to gradually over time teach you how to love yourself, how to love the body that you're in, whether you're fighting with it or not in some way, shape, or form. You're grieving maybe the body you used to have before the injury, before the pain. And you're going through kind of an exploration of yourself that allows you to be embodied. So that means to be able to sense and feel, and that's my main goal, like get Dana to sense and feel within herself, what do I need today? Of all this wisdom that I've learned from yoga therapy, what do I need today? I'm feeling really stressed about this, and I've got no time. What's something Sarah taught me that I can utilize in my life? And that might mean she's at a stoplight on her way to the next meeting, and she's taken several deep breaths, and she's sensing and feeling into her body. So it is about taking your modern lifestyle and all the things that you have going on, because I've gotten to know you really well, and then being able to incorporate these practices somewhere within that busyness that you have. Because you're important, your body's important, but you're often putting everyone else first. Mm-hmm. And I think that everyone can relate to that. And especially in our age groups with young kids, and we're parents, we own our own businesses, we have a lot of irons in the fire. And so to be able to slow down even at the stoplight and go, okay, I feel myself, I feel my body, and that is being embodied. It is learning to have more awareness over how much water have I drank today. Right. I need to go get my bottle. You know, it's the simple things that make vast, amazing changes in your life.
And I think that we are so quick to sacrifice ourselves. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. Maybe not you.
Self-esteem, bro.
Are you, like, quick to sacrifice? I don't think so.
I definitely take other people's... I have so many filmed testimonials that of my stuff. Right. People talking about my stuff that I've never cut.
Right.
Just like,
because you don't have time. You're like, I've got to do...
No, it's not that I don't have time. It's that I don't value myself the way that I value others, mm-hmm. right? And that's what it is for everybody. Yeah. It's all a self-esteem issue. Like, we're far more in service to others than we are to ourselves. I mean, that's just like... I'm generalizing, obviously, but yeah. It sounds like you really connect... Okay, so you said some stuff, and I want to just dissect it for a second. It sounds like you're connecting people... which is like, it seems like something that should be a given, right? In my mind, it should be a given. I know I'm like casting a lot of judgment here, but I would hope that I'm able to feel how I'm feeling. But I think that, you shine some light on a reality that might be kind of hard to see for a lot of people. Certainly when you're in it, is that, like, I think a lot of us are detached from our feelings. We're detached from our feelings. We're detached from our body in the same stroke. And so because of that, we can't always feel what we need, and mm-hmm. we can maybe feel that something's off, or we feel stressed out, but like learning to tune into that, and like, I guess you'd consider it maybe like learning to like understand and intuition and like kind of feel into that, and then know what to do next mm-hmm. is powerful. I mean, it's like a teach a man to fish kind of situation, right?
Well, it's giving you control that most people are wanting to give to someone else.
Yeah. So, okay, we live in the Rocket City. with bunches of rocket scientists and
Rocket scientists
engineers
who are just
and
compartmentalizing everything.
and like all the they are so free with their emotions and definitely discuss things and feel all the things.
They meet for.
So how has that been? Like, how is the acceptance? Because like what you were saying just then, that's a lot of fluff.
Yeah. It's fluffy. Yeah.
It
there's
is
like,
so fluffy.
Watch out. Yeah.
Well, I think part of it is I do somatic yoga therapy, so that involves some movement with the aspect that we are not just physical beings. So incorporating some of that for somebody who's very sciencey, there's science behind it, right? And so sometimes that's what people need. But that experience of like moving through something without having to talk to somebody else about it or having to tell your story again or your trauma again, it just allows you to have that experience in yourself without having to explain it all necessarily. And so that can be powerful. The thing that I think about Huntsville is Huntsville has grown exponentially in the last several years, and we're getting people coming in from all these other states where holistic modalities like yoga therapy are everyday thing. And it's not an oddity.
So you're just saying, okay, so what I do is I just market to the non-Alabamians.
Non-Huntsville?
Well, no, because the great part is,
is
that the science is backing it.
Yeah.
So you can go and see scientific studies on all kinds of things, from dementia to cancer recovery to addiction to back pain. I mean, it's all out there. So there is proof. It's just getting people to listen to what yoga therapy is and understand the misconceptions that are surrounding it.
Does it bother you to call it alternative wellness or to have it labeled as alternative? Like, why exactly do we call it alternative wellness when it really is wellness?
Okay, yeah. I've got all kinds of pet peeves. Stuff with this like whole medical health system that's just like totally just bent and crazy. I mean, come on. It's insane. Like,
absolutely.
Our healthcare system has been totally bastardized and been like twisted in funny ways for money and corporate greed and all this big mess of stuff. And so there's like mainstream healthcare has a negative stigma to it. Alternative healthcare has a negative stigma to it. All of it has like, it's either going to be like freaking voodoo in a tent with like smoke signals and like craziness that doesn't work because it's a shaman and ooh, it's scary. Or it's going to be, you're talking to a doctor and they're like, no, it's no problem. And they saw your arm off and they're like, you're fixed. Like, no problem. Like, it's just it's just totally insane. And I think, honestly, that more and more people, at least this is my hope. I mean, maybe I'm projecting, but I want people to stop being idiots about this, okay? Like, your body is connected. There is energy. It is clearly connected.
Everything's connected.
It's all connected. When you breathe deeply, you feel better. When you breathe deeply, you feel better. Your life gets better.
And that's only one thing that it's changing. It's also changing your digestive system, your nervous system.
Yeah,
I mean, the breath is incredible.
So
she just took a deep breath.
I did. I'm good at that now. Okay, but now thank you for your
my little
version.
Rant, sorry.
I
was just very triggered about it, okay?
Yeah, I mean, and it makes sense.
It's very triggering.
So what do you think? Like when somebody's like, "Oh, that's alternative wellness," like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not offensive to me because I want to be seen as alternative. I want to eventually be seen by the medical group as being as important. A lot of my peers work in places like Sloan Kettering Cancer Center and the Mayo Clinic, and they're being paid by insurance companies for yoga therapy because a doctor backs what they do and then offers that as insurance, right? They're writing the script for yoga therapy. And in places like Alabama, we just haven't gotten that far in progressiveness with holistic or alternative medicine. So I don't think it's offensive. I think it's just something that we have to continue to work to change people's mind about it. That it's not this woo-woo thing. Can it be? Certainly. I mean, yoga therapists
you can have some crystals. You can, but
just
I mean,
like
really,
every physician
energy.
is trained differently through different schools of thought. Yoga therapists are also trained differently through different schools of thought. So your experience with me, just like if you went to a regular yoga class, you might not like your yoga teacher or the type or style of yoga that you took initially. You might have to find your person, just like you've got to find your doctor, your dentist, and so on.
Your coach.
or your coach. Yeah.
Or your
so
video producer, just whatever.
whatever you need.
exactly.
Selfless plug. Shameless plug. So whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay. All right. We gotta let's go ahead and reel it in. We gotta reel it in.
Yeah.
Okay. So but I do find it offensive, just so you know. Like, she doesn't, but I do. I think it's very offensive, and I think it's crazy. And
Just saying alternative wellness?
I think it should
or
be stripped
lumping
away.
things together?
I think that people need to do what works for them. I think that's really the bottom line. Do what works for you, and, like, it's your life. And if you want to, like, go and, like, you want to just go straight to a surgery, like, that's up to you. That's fine. Like, if that's what you want to do. That's not... Usually, before it gets to the point where it's like, oh my God, there's an emergency, I have to have a surgery, there were many signs. You were just numb to it, detached from your body. So if you're not really sure if it's for you, why don't you just take a deep breath, like talk to Sarah, see if you can like reconnect with yourself.
But what I'm saying too with that is that okay. How do I want to word this? Okay, so yoga is an integrative and complementary approach to other modalities. So you could be having the surgery or have had the surgery or be on all these medications. It doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong or that you're a bad person or I'm going to shame you for it. It is a complementary approach. So if you come to me with those things, then it's my job to figure out, well, how can we help you to help yourself? Because we've gone past the point of preventative care. Would I love to see people for preventative care before they get really sick? Absolutely.
But that's not actually
But that's not where people are at yet.
Yeah.
So I think one day they will be. You'll be coming to yoga therapy on a regular basis for that preventative care. But right now, it is definitely a complementary approach to anything that you're doing, whether it be other alternative wellness modalities or...
Like what?
Going to Western medicine.
Or, you know.
Like what?
Like witchcraft.
I work alongside a lot of chiropractors, PTs, OTs, people who have a more holistic mindset.
AKA snake oils.
Acupuncturists.
Really? I would not have thought OTs and PTs.
Chiropractors.
Okay, I guess chiropractors, yes.
Those guys are such scammers.
Oh, God.
Who needs your bones to be aligned?
No, it's actually really important. I have I have scoliosis, and so
I mean, it's just crazy that people actually think that, and it's not until recently that chiropractors really have like been more and more legitimate.
I was so scared. I was so scared to go to a chiropractor.
See, this is my problem. Is I have total projection bias here because I grew up. My mom is a shaman. Like she's got like an 8-foot medicine, like a classic medicine cabinet filled with like herbs and stuff, and like that's like her thing. And so I was always around it. We went to an osteopath and a chiropractor. And it was always alternative medicine. That was the only medicine. The alternative would have been hospital or like seeing a doctor. I didn't have a doctor. I don't know if I even have a doctor. I don't even know if I have a doctor.
Like today? Do you even have a doctor today?
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know. Jackie handles that. Thank goodness for Jackie.
Do you have a shaman? Oh, yes, Mom.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what? So let me. So where do people find you? How do people find you? If someone's like, oh my God, this is it.
This sounds great. Or like, who is that person?
Who is this? Yeah.
Well, I work at the Holistic Wellness Collective here in Huntsville, and I also have a retreat center out in New Market, and you can find me on my website, waterfallyogallc.com.
You've got some amazing events coming up. We're going to put those in the show notes, so look for those.
A lot of events and retreats.
Yeah, I'm going to try to. That's on my list.
Yeah. What is this? The collective? Can you give me like the 30-second overview? The
Huntsville Wellness Collective is on Arcadia, across from Costco, off the Parkway, and there are 12 providers there. We're all small women-owned businesses, and we each have our own modality.
Not like the women that own the businesses are small. Like it's a small business owned by women.
Some of us are small.
Yeah. Well, when you said that, I was like, okay.
I mean, Emily is part of the collective,
and she's kind of small too.
She's small.
So it is small women.
It is small women.
It's small women owned small businesses.
Small women owned businesses.
Yes, sorry.
You know what I mean.
But they're all alternative wellness or alternative health, right? And I love that center, and I love that they're bringing it all in one.
Because you go and
absolutely. I see Emily really cool. and her,
and I'm go down there and like check it out. I don't know. I've never been.
Check it out.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. You're so wonderful. You've got such great energy. Here's like an official handshake. Do you know how to cut the wood? Just all the wood.
You know what? I want to give her one more opportunity. Is there anything else that you think is so important that you like had it scripted in your mind, or something that you wanted to say that we haven't really talked about?
Jeez, Dana, take it easy on the table.
Well, one of the things that you mentioned maybe that would be important is to talk about Ayurveda, because I think you mentioned that one specifically as an alternative medicine. And Ayurveda is the sister science to yoga. So Ayurveda actually is very complementary, and most of us who are yoga therapists are also trained in Ayurveda. And that is really also an ancient wisdom that helps us to see where people are imbalanced in their body, and then be able to provide you with skills or tools, techniques that are going to bring you back into balance.
Is that like chakra stuff? Like, I don't know what it is, actually.
I think it's
chakras is something else, but
let me try.
I'd
like to try.
Ayurveda?
Ayurveda. Or like Ayurvedic. I've heard it pronounced as like AY. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It does matter, but like, okay, so I think it's an umbrella basically of different approaches that are founded in like an understanding of like the connection with our body and energy. Am I kind of close? No, I'm way
kind
far
of.
off.
No,
Okay,
kind of. It is Eastern medicine in that it is. There is a lot of the energetic idea of that, of course, but it is a preventative medicine. So they're using it as a lifestyle again. So, here's another important nugget, I think, is that I'm not doing something to you or for you. I am giving you skills and tools and information to help you change your life and to take control. So this is your opportunity to figure out yourself and what you need to be doing to get better. Not me fixing you, because there's nothing broke about you. You just need a little guidance on your journey towards the right path.
So is there ever chronic pain that just can't, like, you're just like, oh, sorry, yep, you're just in pain? Like,
well, I utilize pain science, and I think
a rough outlook.
Teaching you
like,
some.
Sorry, too bad. Just...
like, I don't know that I can help you.
It's about misalignment. That's what's going on when you have pain. It's because you're not aligned. You're imbalanced, and so you need to find balance.
Imbalanced energetically, emotionally, spiritually,
but it starts
physically.
It starts there. It starts energetically. Like, energetically is such a generalization because that's where all of it's connected to that. Yeah. You can't be imbalanced emotionally if you're imbalanced energetically.
You might need your mindset shifted a little bit, changing your mindset, changing your perception of your pain. Pain science is huge on what I do, because the more you understand how your brain changes when you're in chronic pain, the more you have control. It's not, is this pill going to work? Is this exercise going to work? Is changing my diet going to work? It's your understanding of your nervous system and how to self-regulate it to decrease your pain.
Wouldn't you say it? I mean, would you say it's true and accurate that, like, unless it's an acute injury, meaning like you fell off a ladder, but like something that materializes into the physical space, it starts energetically. It all starts from an energetic misalignment, and from there is not addressed over a long period of time, and then it results in a physical manifestation that tends to be not so bad and not so intense, but we don't feel it because we're out there pushing our feelings down with booze. Or who knows what, right? And avoiding it, and then it winds up like growing into a bigger physical problem. Like, oh my God, my back is killing me. I can't even move. Okay, well, it's been like this a little bit less and a little bit less for a year. Yeah. Because when that thing happened, you never processed. You never processed this horrible experience you had. So,
all right. Well, that was great. That was a great final thought.
Well, you're welcome.
Thanks for having me.
I mean, thank you.
Not yours, hers.
Hers, yeah.
But
my horse drawing was the best, though.
Well, thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah.
See you next time.
After working up a sweat with yoga therapy, we're floating into relaxation with Stephanie Childers of Float Huntsville.
Okay, but let's be honest here. It wasn't all relaxation before we got there. I was truly a little panicked, and I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah, there were a lot of feelings, as you guys will see in a second here, looking through the footage. I'm just grateful that we're able to be so vulnerable, because all those deep, terrifying thoughts that were bubbling up. And I'm a pretty rational guy, and we were fine, but like, there was a lot of irrational fears that I didn't really think or know that I even had. So it was exciting. There were feelings, but let's just check it out. Enjoy.
We're at Float Huntsville.
Let's see. How do I feel?
I don't know why I said I was going to do this.
I'm compartmentalizing.
I do not relax very well.
Because I'm a little nervous.
I am super, super anxious, and I kind of just want to run.
I feel fear that it's going to get closed and locked somehow.
I am claustrophobic.
I'm seeing a snippet of me in the tank.
Laying there for an hour.
Wanting to get out.
With my thoughts, going crazy.
And not being able to get out.
And like, not being able to escape myself.
So, you know, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Because an hour seems like an agonizing long amount of time for me to sit still.
I'm excited to try this.
I'm also thinking like, is this gonna burn my skin?
What's it gonna feel like?
Is it gonna feel weird?
1,000 pounds of salt?
Is it gonna feel gummy?
Is it gonna be like jello-y?
Is it gonna like, I don't know.
How heavy is it gonna feel?
Just very confused, I'm very nervous, and we'll see what happens.
I'm excited to see it, and I'll see you on the other side. The two most neurotic people to try this. Maybe.
Float therapy is excellent because it fits right in there with the world of massage, with the world of meditation, with the world of therapy. The water's filled with 1,000 pounds of magnesium sulfate Epsom salt water, so it will relax people from head to toe. If you're a first-time floater with us, we want to help you through the whole float process from beginning to end. You'll check in at the front desk and we will escort you to either the sauna room or the float room.
All right, Dana, it's time to hit the sauna.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Don't look so nervous. Why is she so nervous?
For people that need a break from a busy life, relaxation from head to toe, people that don't want to be hurt by a certain massage therapist that goes too deeply, for people that need to de-stress, for athletes that are working hard in training, for pregnant moms can come and float and take all the weight off and be weightless. We will have a robe for you, we'll have slides for your feet. In the float room, you have your own shower. And in that, you'll shower just to clean off before you get into the water. You don't have to wear a bathing suit, but you can bring it if you want to. Then you can leave the lid open. You can float for your hour. And then after that, the float tank will tell you, your time is now up. Then you can go shower, get the salt water off, and you'll feel nice and relaxed. Come on out here to the lobby, and we'll greet you with tea or water.
1 hour later.
So that was, okay. It was very disorienting. That was good.
I'm super relaxed.
I didn't have my eyes open. I had them closed. I turned off the light. I turned off the music. But at some points in it, a few points, there were some things. I saw some. I had visions. So I tried a couple of different things while I was in the tank. So I tried doing some Wim Hof breathing.
It's an interesting feeling.
And then I tried 3 in, 5 out.
I don't feel like waterlogged, but I feel very like...
And I did some deep breath and then top it off, hold, release.
Like I don't need to go do something super active right this second. It took me a little bit to kind of relax. I definitely found hands over my head was the most relaxing.
Yeah, they were really, that was amazing. That was awesome.
So I also allowed myself to actually move. Sometimes I would just kind of do I don't know what this movement is, but whatever it is, I just kind of angeled around. And then what happened with the lights was it casted this really pretty shimmer across the top, and that really helped me relax at the beginning when I was nervous.
With the Wim Hof, when I did my retention where I exhale everything and then just do not inhale again and hold that, and then you come out the other side of that 30 seconds, a minute later, and inhale and hold, I got really strange sounds.
I just got to experience almost some northern lights, right? And start to I allowed myself to move freely, and the floating was really cool. It was a really cool experience to just get in and then whoop up you go.
It was really I could hear my heartbeat, but it wasn't just a thud. It was a high pitched. It was really, really strange.
And you didn't have to you didn't have to try. You didn't have to breathe in, and hold your breath to get to float. You just floated.
So it wasn't off-putting. It didn't make me, I wasn't concerned or anything. Nothing was wrong, but it was just strange.
Didn't die. I didn't get trapped. I didn't freak out. All plus.
If you were to imagine yourself making a fist, you can think about that and feel maybe make a fist, but don't actually make it. You could sort of feel the sensation of it. That's how moving in that space felt.
Eventually I turned off the music and I turned off the sound, the lights, and I allowed myself to just kind of B,
it felt like I wasn't sure if I actually was leaning a little left or leaning to the right, or if I just maybe had thought about that motion and had imagined it.
and I found that I wasn't like, is it over? Is it over? Is it over?
And unless I made a really big motion and the water started to move, it was kind of like hard to determine.
And it did go by super fast. It was so much faster than I thought it would be.
It went by too fast. I'm sad. I wanted it not to be over when it was over.
I think that I will have even better experience next time because I will have already chilled out knowing what to expect. And that way, I think like the more that I do this, probably the more relaxing and the faster I can get into that deep relaxation.
Really good, really unique. It went by a lot faster than I thought it was going to. And the floatingness was really cool. Like as soon as I got in.
I can see
it's
how
amazing.
it promotes stillness, and we need more stillness in our lives. We are constantly in a rush and in a hurry to get to the next place, do the next thing, hit the next accomplishment. Like when is enough? And I think learning how to be still is something we have to practice and get good at.
That was awesome. Highly recommend.
Next up, we couldn't miss trying out this unique coffee alternative we kept hearing about. FigBrew?
FigBrew. So now that we've tried the FigBrew, do you know what a fig is?
That is not even cool, Lucas. Apparently, I've lived a very sheltered life, okay? I really had no idea. I had no idea that a fig was a fruit or what it looked like. And I knew about fig Newtons and figgy pudding, but that was it. But I can't be the only one. Hey, share in the comments. Tell me I'm not the only one. But I do know a bit now, and I'm impressed. We had a visit with Andy and Marianne. They taught us all about the amazing health benefits in our visit to FigBrew.
I really, really like coffee. I roast my own, I grind my own, I play with coffee beans from all over the world, but it's a one-way street. Coffee doesn't love me back. Hi, I'm Andy Whitehead, one of the co-founders of FigBrew, along with my wife, Marianne. We were inspired to create FigBrew because of our love of coffee. And so, like a large subset of coffee drinkers, I find myself aging out of coffee. A few years ago, I read an article about how in the Second World War in England, they used roasted fig and mixed it with their coffee rations. It was a stimulant sent to the soldiers on the front line, so it was in short supply. And so after the war, everybody went straight back to coffee, which is what they were after. But it turns out they were using something that was very healthy. And so we looked around, no one seemed to be doing this. And so we thought, hey, this is a great solution. We love solutions hiding in plain sight. So we started FigBrew. So FigBrew offers many health benefits compared to coffee. So as it directly relates to coffee, it's alkaline versus acidic. It's high in potassium, low in sodium, so it helps regulate blood pressure. And then it's naturally caffeine-free. There is really only one ingredient in our products, and that's roasted fig. It's very unusual to have a single ingredient coffee alternative. In fact, as far as I know, we're the only one on the market, but that is literally it. It is a single ingredient. It's upcycled organic figs and nothing else. No added sugars, no preservatives, just figs. So some people ask, well, what's a fig? So figs are actually flowers. Many people interpret them as fruit, but they actually start life as flowers, like artichokes or prickly pear. It's called an inverted flower. Our customers who have switched to FigBrew from coffee are really grateful to have something that is as close to coffee as possible, but without the adverse health benefits. And so, like I say, the instants and herbals just don't cut it. For example, if you add milk to your coffee, it needs to look a certain way before you ever taste or smell it. And roasted fig is the only coffee alternative I've found that actually does that. And so people are very appreciative of the health benefits. We just had somebody in here about an hour ago who couldn't take the acid in coffee. And so not only are figs alkaline, the effect on the body is alkaline, and it's something a lot of people don't understand. And so being high in potassium, low in sodium, it helps regulate blood pressure. Just yesterday, we were on a phone call with a customer who was really appreciative, just gone to the doctor, and her blood pressure was way down. He asked her what the difference was, and she said, oh, it's my FigBrew every morning. People are looking for healthier ways to live their life, especially after COVID. And so FigBrew plays a part in all that. There's no one solution. You can't just wave a wand and change your entire health status by your morning beverage. But it's, for many people, it's the way they start the day. You know, the coffee culture is even more addictive than the caffeine. It's first dates, it's business meetings, catching up with old friends, sitting on the front porch, with this warm, earthy beverage, planning your day. And so starting your day off right with a healthy coffee alternative that doesn't bring in the adverse health conditions that normally trigger a bad morning is a great way to start. And so we take a fruit that is naturally sweet, naturally caffeine free, and we roast and grind it to make it bitter like coffee, and then we add caffeine to it in some circumstances, so it appeals to coffee drinkers. So most people, if they are familiar with figs, aren't aware that you can roast and grind figs to make something that is just remarkably like coffee. So one of the ways that FigBrew is very unique in the market is that as a coffee alternative manufacturer, we don't advocate to ditch the figs. You know, coffee doesn't suck to us. It is very good. You know, we love coffee. And so one of the ways you can use FigBrew is to actually blend it with your favorite coffee before brewing. You're effectively replacing a portion of your coffee before brewing to moderate the acid and caffeine and make it a much healthier experience, but with that fundamental taste of coffee, which is what every coffee lover is after, frankly. We invite you to come down to our manufacturing facility on Lehman Ferry Road, right next to the Wicks Family Soccer Stadium. If you're suffering from acidity, digestive issues, high blood pressure issues with coffee, we'd love for you to come down and sample it. I'll be here Monday through Thursday, 9 to 4. I'd love to have you.
Huntsville, what is your favorite wellness alternative? Where should Lucas and I explore next? What should we go do?
Before we go today, we want to remind you that Rocket City Momentum is brought to you by Skylar Scott Studios, helping business owners create inspired video content that moves viewers into action, and Live and Rest Coaching, helping business owners with the tools that they need to grow and scale with confidence so they can achieve goals faster and avoid burnout and make moolah.
Yeah.
Moolah, moolah.
Yeah. You don't have to know what a fig is to do that. I proved that.
It's not necessary.
And we have a treat for you. Who wants a free float? Float Huntsville has given us a free float to give away. So check the show notes down below for a link to register for that giveaway.
Register for the giveaway. It is like a totally different experience when you lay down into it and you're actually like really floating. It's like, oh my God, it's really, just trust me, just register. We're going to be back in 2 weeks to kick off the final 4 episodes of Rocket City Momentum Season 1. That's right. And that means when you think about it, put it together, man, solve the puzzle. Season 2 coming soon. So it's pretty exciting. Mark your calendars. We're coming back with more. More amazing topics are coming up, including a special Veterans of Huntsville tribute episode.
Yeah. Make sure you forward this to someone that you think may enjoy a peek into the world of alternative health. It would mean the world to us.
See you next time. It means so much to us.